Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we're diving into a report from Karat Packaging, and spoiler alert, it involves votes, numbers and surprisingly little actual packaging. This report is about what happened at Karat Packaging's annual meeting. We're talking about who got elected to the board, who they hired to do the accounting, and how the shareholders feel about how the company is paying its executives. Think of it as the company's yearly popularity contest. Before we get started, if you think this sort of content is interesting and you appreciate getting straight insights from these kinds of corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below so we can discuss this further. First off, this is a Form 8K. Companies file these when big stuff happens, things investors need to know about quickly. In this case, it is what happened at the annual meeting of stockholders, basically who voted for what. Now let's get into what exactly happened at the meeting. There were three main things voted on. First, electing directors, which is like picking the team captains. Second, ratifying the accountants, meaning approving the people in charge of making sure the money numbers are right. And third, an advisory vote on executive pay, a chance for shareholders to say whether they think the bosses are getting paid too much, too little, or just right. So let's talk about the director election, which is like the school election but with a lot more money involved. Shareholders voted for 5 directors to sit on the company's board. These directors are elected for a term expiring at the next annual meeting. Let's see who got the popular vote. Alan, you got 17,357, 145 votes for, with about 64,000 votes withheld. Jen Guo got 16,400 votes, 160,852 votes for, with 568,855 withheld. Next up, Paul Wai Chen got 17,329,497 votes withheld, with healthy 6 in votes withheld. Eric Chen got 17,394 and 97,297,397 votes, withheld were 16,855 withheld. And finally, Eve Yen got 17,383 and 83,794 withheld. What does votes withheld even mean? It's basically when someone votes, but they choose not to support a particular candidate. Even though there were withheld votes, each of the nominees got plenty of votes in their favour. Moving on to the second vote, the ratification of PricewaterhouseCoopers LA as the company's independent certified public accountants for the year. This is about approving the people who check the company's financial homework, which is super important. Think of it as getting a health checkup. The vote was overwhelmingly in favour, with 18,232,235 votes for, a paltry 9,500 against, and 91 abstentions, which mean basically no opinion. Sometimes companies switch up who does their accounting, like changing doctors, but in this case everyone was happy with the current accounting team. Now the big one, Proposal 3, which is advisory approval of the company's executive compensation, also known as say on pay. This is where shareholders get to give their opinion on whether the company is paying its top executives too much money. It's like a report card on the boss's salary. The results came in with 16,925 votes, 7,055 votes for, 4,849 against, and 10,372 abstaining. Those numbers means most shareholders are okay with how much the executives are being paid. Keep in mind though, this vote is advisory, meaning the company doesn't have to listen, but they usually do. The opinion will be something the board consider when deciding how much to pay executives. After seeing all of these votes, it makes you wonder, what does this say about Karat Packaging? Well, first, it looks like shareholders generally trust the current leadership, given that all director nominees were elected pretty comfortably. Also, they're okay with how the company is paying its executives, which indicates the company is doing well. This report was signed off by Jen Guo, the Chief Financial Officer, which makes sense as CFOs are in charge of all thing money. Now, looking at these results more broadly, Karat Packaging seems to be in a stable position with solid shareholder backing. Maybe there are internal disagreements as reflected by the votes withheld and votes against, but overall the company seems to be steering in a direction that most shareholders agree with. Alright, that's our breakdown of Karat Packaging's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. And if you want to talk about it further, don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.